So everything started, of course, like everything is from an idea. And the idea of, wanting to, for me, it was wanting to have a family business and to have my family come together, because I have 4 brothers and 4 sisters. So, and all my brothers, we've always been healthy and fit, and this is just a part of our culture. And so that's where the business idea came from. That would be a perfect industry for us to get in. And, but as far as like the capital and all those kind of things, man, what I say to people is that success is more based upon courage than it actually is resources or capital. Once you set your mind to something, that's gonna come.
All right, so how long have you, what's the general philosophy? What's your philosophy towards fitness and health?
Yes, so we use the word holistic a lot. And, a lot of times people have heard that word before, but not really familiar with the term. And if you looked it up, it's basically going to just tell you of the whole, and then it's going to give you mind, body, spirit, or mentally, physically, spiritually. Our approach is of a holistic approach. What we understand is, in order to be truly healthy, first of all, healthy meaning free from illness or disease, okay? Free from illness or injury, all right? Free from disease, dis-ease, or lack of peace. So we understand that in order to do so, your mind, your body, and your spirit, and what we mean by that, just to kind of be practical, is the TV shows you're watching. Is it negative or is it positive? You understand? If you in love with Love and Hip Hop and Orange is the New Black, all that kind has a negative vibration to it. It's a negative message. Yeah. It's not holistic. Okay? Certain clothing that we wear, is your clothing 100% natural? Is it from cotton sources, or is it something that's blocking your pores? Holistic. You understand what I'm saying? Is that the understanding what you're eating is, plant-based nutrition is certainly, the best route with studies and things like that. So are you eating things that are good for your body and your spirit and your mind? And so it's more of everything in life has a vibration to it, and it can be simplified to, is it more on the negative side or is it more on the positive side? So we just have a structure to help people understand that in a better way, instead of just coming into a gym, working out. We tell you eat this and eat that, but your lifestyle is still off. That's in contrary to what we're trying to do. So in order to truly be healthy, it has to be, again, from that whole approach.
Okay. So I hear you mentioned plant-based diet. So how long have you been vegan? Are you vegan or vegetarian? What's your diet?
Absolutely. So I am full vegan. I've been full vegan for about 8 years. And anybody don't know what vegan is, of course, is no meat, no dairy, anything that comes from an animal source, anything. So I've been full vegan for about 7 years, but in our culture, we've been vegan for 50 years. So, but I grew up, in a split household with my mother, just didn't see things the same way my father did. So my father's been vegan for about 30-something years now. But so I always grew up eating vegan food. And in fact, contrary to popular belief, when I was younger, even at the time where I was eating the meat sources or whatever, I've never ate beef, I never ate pork. But at the time that I was eating these things, like chicken and fish or whatever the case may be, I would always still, if I had a choice to have a vegan diet meal over here, I would even choose a vegan meal just because even the taste. So, being from that culture, again, that's 50 years of experience, we've been mastered, not only being vegan, but how to taste good, because it's a big misconception of healthy and tasting bad. So I'm here to tell you that's a myth.
So what all services does LOJ Fit Club provide?
Okay, we started out just as a personal training company. Okay, so of course it's holistic training where everything is functional exercise, and if your body does not naturally move in that way, we don't train you like that. Okay, so started out just personal training. That's what we put emphasis on. That's our focal point. But we've expanded to now we do a lot of coaching, a lot of health coaching, a lot of lifestyle coaching. Where we do a lot of online, based coaching and in-person coaching and things like that. People who just kind of get what they need to be doing, but they need somebody to hold them accountable and get the specifics that can get them there faster. So we do a lot of coaching. We do a lot of private one-on-one yoga, okay? You know, we call it holistic stretching, but we do a lot of private holistic yoga. We do yoga classes, you know, on the weekend. So we do vegan meal prep. That's a big one. So we actually prepare food, you know, and we have a whole menu where we actually prepare plant-based vegan meals for individuals, and they can come pick it up, or we deliver it to them, and they have meals throughout the week. We also do massage therapy. So we have massage therapists within our network where, you know, hey, you know, you need massage or whatever, deep tissue, not no little spa, you know, soft. We talking about real, you know, massage where we getting, you know, into the fascia tissues and help releasing, you know, certain toxins within the body and trigger points and things like that. So corporate wellness, you know, we do wellness events where we go and do, you know, speaking engagements and events for them, and we actually have a contract with a local college here. We've been doing their wellness week over their whole wellness program. We've been over their wellness program for 2 years now and counting.
What college is that? What school is that?
That's Chattahoochee Tech.
Okay.
Yep, it's the largest technical college, I believe, in Georgia.
So with that, doing the vegan meal prep, how does your clients respond to that? I mean, like, do most of them come in and already vegan, or how's that process work?
Yes, so honestly, most of them that come in have, if they're not vegan, which most of them are not vegan, but most of them have an inkling of what veganism is, what it's about, and the benefits of. So even if they're not vegan, they know something. Whereas the people who just kind of interested and say, you know, they ask more so, what is vegan? You know, what is veganism? What does that mean? But most people who actually come in for the vegan meal prep are not vegan, but they have an interest in being vegan because they heard of so many benefits to it, and they've seen friends who lost a lot of weight, or they've seen somebody on the Wendy Williams show or something, you know. So that's what, in a lot of cases, that's what happens. So they have an interest, so we call them vegan curious, and we just go ahead and seal the deal.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, what is the majority of your client base? Like, what demographic do they come from? It's mostly black people. What's the demographics of the people who come here?
Yes, I would say about 95% of African descent, you know, about 95%. And the reason for it is that's who we market to, majority of, you know, who we market to. We want to market, you know, to and make sure that health, again, is going to be at the forefront of our race and our people and our culture. You know, and it can kind of be challenging because through decades of programming, that is on the back end. You know, myself, and even growing up in the sense of how I see other cultures take this health serious. You know, I didn't realize until I started working at a gym, when I'm looking at European kids and, you know, Asian kids and Hispanic kids, and they coming in there at 11, 12, 10 years old in the gym 2-3 times in a day. You understand? Looking at what they eating. Whereas with us, you know, now in my culture, yeah, we had a little bit more of an emphasis, but even growing up in America in general, man, please, you know, everything else, the mall, my clothes, my fit, the movies, and if I just feel like it, maybe in sports, if I play a sport, then I'm gonna work out at school. But as far as just incorporating in our lifestyle, it wasn't there. But it's not because people are not interested. So we want to find the people who are interested but just don't have the direction, motivation, and guidance. We're not in the business at this point and trying to convince people that you need it. And there's a lot of us who are interested but just don't really have a place that resonates with them and the way that they will understand it. And that's what we want to serve and be.
So, like, how do most of your clients get to you in that regard? Like, how do they reach you?
What's contributed to the great, you know, success that we've had so far is I had to learn quick. Being in business is being in business, and having a service and a product is just one thing. Yeah. But in the world, it's not about having just a best service and product. Totally. It's always great, and it's always you need to bring value. But what I've learned quickly is that it's about marketing. And marketing in the sense of knowing how to market and knowing how to compete in the market. And so I found ways through social media, through paid advertisement, through PPC advertisement, and through, you know, just various forms, you know, events and vending and various forms of marketing. Because when you understand that your purpose is a moral obligation, you know, that whatever you bring to the earth is a moral obligation for you to get it in front of as many people as need you, then you will do the things necessary to market in front of the people because they need what you're offering.
So like how in a business like this, how important is it to have like, I guess what you would call like supportive businesses around what you do, whether it be, you know, grocery store, vegan restaurants, you know, other, you know, kind of plant-based businesses around what you're doing? Does that help, you know, in what you do, or, you know, what you do?
Yes, great question again. So, you know, great question again, because we're in the economic period, what you call the collaboration economic period, which means the businesses that are thriving are the businesses that are collaborating. You know, Amazon, they're collaborating. People have something to sell, they got people to sell it to.
Yeah.
Uber,
Yeah.
people need a ride. You understand? You have a car, we got people that need a ride. So it's a collaboration economy. And if you're collaborating in this time frame and you're doing it correctly and you're scaling it, then a lot of times you're going to be winning. And this economy is pretty much here to stay. And so it's a unique economy. So of course we need what you call like allies.
Yeah.
There's been no war ever in history that's been won in the history of the world where the victors did not have any allies.
Yeah.
And so in the business, you're basically at war. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? You're at war, and so it's important to have allies, you know, while you're at war. So we need vegan restaurants. We need, you know, massage therapy parlors. We need these things around so that people, the awareness and the consciousness of these things, you know, and the education that revolves around them, you know, can resonate with the people so that they can understand a business like what we do.
Okay. So, I guess so. You know, you told me why you started the business. I guess my question is, like, what are you trying to do with it? Like, what type of impact? Firstly, what type of impact do you think that, you know, a plant-based lifestyle can have on the Black community specifically? And what type of impact do you personally, with your business, want to contribute towards that?
Okay. So the first question, how long you got? No, I'm just playing. So what I'll do is I'll go back with the plant-based. I'll go from the plant-based and then I'll answer it on the larger scale of where we're actually trying to take it. Yeah. The plant-based nutrition and the plant-based lifestyle and the veganism and things like that, it's a very important, you know, factor in there as well. Our contribution to it, as of now, we're seeing a lot of industries and a lot of institutions that are promoting it, but they're kind of promoting it from a animal rights type of approach, which that is very important as well. But our philosophy is on that, hey, we can deal with animal rights once we can deal with human rights first. You understand what I'm saying? Let's deal with the humans, because if you got humans, which are evidently, you know, it's evident that humans are responsible, and what humans do, it affects the animals more so to speak. And we're supposed to have what I call a divine dominion, you know, not like we control or, you know, we're over, but it's a divine dominion, meaning that we're having a certain kind of responsibility for the animals. So with that being said, veganism in itself has to be from an approach to where we're looking at it from health-wise first. And when we can understand it health-wise, and we can produce healthy humans, then we can worry about everything that's outside of that. Because if you got healthy humans who are internalizing, you know, great things, then from there it's definitely, you know, a benefit. And yep, going back to what we're trying to take this as a whole, right? So of course we have many different things, but to kind of sum it up, we want these, the smaller private studios, we want these to be kind of like in the concept of like a Subway, okay? Subway is small, you know, you have a lot of them, you know, in different areas, and they still keep that small feel. And it's a different experience going in different ones because it's different ownerships and different things like that, yet it's still Subway. You understand what I'm saying? So we want to keep it small, keep it very personal, you know, and just offer it in many different locations and have different subs and, you know, and different jurisdictions of where we different regions that we're located. That way, again, it's very small and personal because people like that connection. When they feel like they're a number, when they go into a big name gym like a LA Fitness or that, then they're less likely to succeed in what they're trying to do because people don't really care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so that's the concept and the approach that we take. So that's the vision as far as these. And then serve as many people as possible through those. But then the bigger vision is we actually want to open up large health retreats in various parts of Africa where people from all over the world will come and to heal themselves naturally. So we're going to have holistic doctors, you know, natural chiropractors, massage therapists, you know, people who are teaching history from a truth-centered approach, and just a place where people from all over the world, no matter if you are in Australia, no matter if you're in China, but you want to heal yourself, you have an element and you want to heal yourself, but you don't want to go the Western route. You understand what I'm saying? So these are going to be health retreats where people are going to come and spend time to do. And then from the resources that we acquire through those institutions, then we're going to build up, you know, those who may not be as fortunate enough to be able to have the resources and funds to actually come. So we're going to implement that and build up Africa. That's the vision.
Dig that. So, I mean, you said you want to expand. Do you see yourself having another one of these in the Atlanta area? You think it has enough people to support another business like that here?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. A lot more room for it.
Okay.
A lot more room.
Okay. All right. You said you grew up in the Atlanta area. I mean, I've been a vegan for almost 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I know over my time, I've seen just in this Atlanta area, it appears to be growing a lot. What's your thoughts on that? Since you've grown up with veganism around you, you know, you're pretty much your whole life. Here in Atlanta, Georgia area, how have you seen amongst black people that veganism kind of grow in this city, you know, as far as options and actual people and stuff like that?
It's definitely grew a whole lot. You know, again, from a cultural perspective, again, we went vegan in around 1967 and 8. So, so the change, and you know, of course, I wasn't born in 1967 or 8, of course. You know, veganism is good, but it ain't that good. You know, I've heard, you know, stories from my parents and things like that where when they first went vegan, people were like, you went what? What is that? You understand what I'm saying? People in my own family who was like, you crazy. You know, we need dairy and milk and, you know what I'm saying? We need that in our diet to survive. You can't survive like that. So even the mentality of thinking that wasn't even something that was possible was the transition to nowadays. When you say it, it's like everybody know what you're talking about. Everybody know exactly what you're talking about. But not only do they know what you're talking about, they're very curious. You understand? So the population, you know, you can always tell by the institutions and how good the institutions are going. We have more vegan restaurants than we ever had before. And they're thriving. There's a lot of them that are thriving. You understand what I'm saying? And if they're not, it's not due because the people are not ready for it. It just maybe the business structure, you know, has not, you know, caught up into an understanding business and marketing and things and selling and things like that. But there's a large population in Atlanta. It's one of the hubs, especially from those of the African descent.
Well, I guess something I should have asked you earlier, but do you got any partners? Are you the sole owner? Or how's this work?
I want to say everybody who has helped and continues to help build this, I consider them a partner.
Okay.
You know, so you know we'll always have partners because we'll always seek for people who understand the vision and you know can contribute whatever they can contribute, no matter if it's this small or this large, they're a partner. But as far as are you asking me, you know, if you're asking me, am I the sole engine behind this? Have I been the sole engine behind this? Yeah, you know, I've, you know, from the ground up, you know, I've seen it, you know, before it ever was, when it was a seed, you know, and I've watered it and planted it and withheld, you know, some of the hardships and things like that. So definitely, I'm the sole, you know, engine behind it, but we have many partners and many people who have contributed and many people that will contribute.
Okay. So, I mean, with that, how has business been going for you, especially since you moved into this location here? Is it, you know, what is your business growing? How is that working for you?
At this point where we are, even in the time frame of how long we've been here, and in the time frame of just how long we've been in business, you know, period, it's going great. And the reason why I'm saying it's going great is that we keeping our head above water. Now the next step, and it is all relative to, you know, those who come and contribute, those partners that we spoke of, and myself, and how I'm able to, you know, develop my business mind and business strategies. That's all relative to how good it's going to do, and it's, you know, it's nobody's hands but ours. And so it's doing great, you know, as far as where we are and what we were working with and what we had to start. So I mean, no complaints.
Okay. How many employees do you have? How many people on the payroll?
At this point, it's anywhere between about 7 and 12. Okay. Fluctuates anywhere between about 7 and 12.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I am 24 years old.
24?
Yep.
That's good stuff, man.
Yep.
Good deal. So have you always been entrepreneurial? Where did you get that from? Anybody around you influence you or anything like that?
You know what? I think I've always been like this. Mm-hmm. I've always been more of a, I don't even know if I would call it even entrepreneur. I just always been more of a, you know, like somebody who likes to get an idea, organize around that idea. I wouldn't necessarily say I've always been entrepreneurial, because I didn't even know what that was. Mm-hmm. But I've always known that, but then again, I'm going to say I was always entrepreneurial, just didn't know how to define it.
Yeah.
You understand? I was always somebody who always was idea driven, always had ideas, and always wanted to organize around an idea. Mm-hmm. And you know, so from at a young age, I just always been like that as far as, you know, but I didn't understand those terms or what that actually even meant. And but as far as the spirit of the entrepreneur, definitely I've always been that. Always.
All right, man. Appreciate it, man. You know, it's an excellent establishment here, man, and you know, I'm pretty sure, you know, you'll be a good inspiration for other people, young brothers coming up, you know, in any type of business and stuff like that. So I appreciate you sitting down with me.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate you for having me.
Before we close out, how can everybody find you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Website, lojfitclub.com. Mm-hmm. Okay, LOJ, Line of Judah, or lojfitclub.com. Instagram, Facebook, it's at LOJ Fit Club. So simple. On Facebook, it's LOJ Space Fit Club. Instagram is just LOJ Fit Club. And we have a lot of different sub sites and things like that. But once you go to the main site and register and things like that, we'll reach out to you and kind of direct you where you actually are wanting to go.
Good deal. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Boom. Did it.